Good morning, guys. Welcome back. All right, why is the fiscal year important? What does it have to do with anything? Well, let's look at that. It has everything to do with, guys, it's based on the value of the currency, okay? Because if you're going to change a rate, you'd have an old value and a new value. So the new value could, depending on how much the rate were to change, will drastically impact the actual overall value of the currency. That's why the timing of it with a fiscal year as actually can be very important. Okay, if they're going to do a major rate change anywhere from 1,000 to 3,000%, which is the route that Iraq is headed, okay, anywhere from one to over 3,000% is a drastic rate change. That's a significant increase or change. So because of that, because that does drastically influence the value of the currency, that's why they need to time it with the fiscal year, okay? Because it actually will transition the dinar amount of the budget of the 21 budget from trillions of dinar to billions of dinar. Let's look at this. So guys, here's one of the original articles from Kuwait. Now you have to keep something in mind here with this. This was back in 1991, guys, when the internet just barely got started and launched, such as America Online using modems, okay? This article was written on March 25th of 1991, okay? March 25th was or 91. Give me a second here, guys. I'm trying to show you something here. Okay. So based on this, here's a calendar from March of 1991. Okay. On this calendar, if you look in this calendar, March 25th is actually a Monday. Okay. So, and what I'm trying to show you, back then, news was a lot slower because you didn't have, the internet really was not established. I mean, the internet was just barely getting launched at this time, okay? So this article was just written in the news or didn't get published in the news until Monday, March 25th. That's what I'm trying to share with you. But the actual rate change event occurred, guys, on Sunday, March 24th, okay? That's what I'm trying to show you here. So the actual revaluation occurred on Sunday, March 24th of 91, but the article was published March 25th of 91, okay? So just keep that in mind with all this, okay? What I was trying to show you here is the date of the article was not the date the rate change occurred, all right? Now, I've always told you guys Iraq can only change their rate on a Sunday because that's why it devalued on a Sunday, okay? Now, when you look at this, Iraq did theirs on a Sunday as well, March 24th of 91, okay? It says right here, Iraq still has no water, little electricity, food, but Kuwait received its banking system today, introducing a new currency. Banks reopened for the first time since the Iraqi occupation forces shut them down in December. Thousands of people lined up to exchange their old Kuwaiti dinars for crisp new ones and to withdraw a limited amount of money. Without electricity, the banking services were slow, limited to money exchange and withdrawal. There was no telex, no electronic money transfer, and no telephones. The computers were unusable, so all transactions had to be entered by hand. It's like going back 20 years. The manager of the Commercial Bank of Kuwait, the nation's second largest bank, seized dinars, canceled. So what I'm trying to show you guys is even Kuwait followed this principle, guys. Kuwait went based on their fiscal year, okay? Let's look at that. And guys, looking kind of near the the top right half, I highlighted Kuwait's fiscal year for you guys. It's right there, April 1st of March 31st. So Kuwait did indeed revalue their currency or do their rate change on March 21st of 1991. Okay, they did it at the beginning of their fiscal period. So you can see why that's important, guys. It's because the value of the value or the however much money that increase or rate change occurs by will drastically influence the value of the currency. And if it's a large rate change, anywhere from say 1 to 3,000%, that has a major influence, and that's why they have to do it at the beginning of a fiscal period. Okay. Now let's look at another thing here. So Kuwait just showed you that they change their rate at the beginning of a fiscal period as well. Let's look at another angle, the IMF. So according to this sheet, guys, these are Iraq SDR holdings. Okay. Now these are the dates that rate changes actually have occurred historically. All right. By the IMF. These were rate changes initiated by the IMF out of this whole list except for two. In the very center, there were two lists, or two that occurred in September of 03 and 04. The two that were done in September, guys, those were actually initiated by Iraq, not the IMF. I want to stress that to you. Okay? All these other ones were initiated by the IMF, and they occurred anywhere from April 30th to April 28th and April 29th. So they all occurred, on the ones that were initiated by the IMF, they all occurred at the last 3 days of April, 28th, 29th, and 30th. Why? Why did the IMF do these at the end of April? Well, according to this, the IMF's fiscal year, guys, is May 1st through April 30th, okay? So the IMF's fiscal year starts May 1st, and April is the month right before May. So, it looks like even the IMF historically has always changed when the IMF has initiated rate changes for the country of Iraq. They've always done it at the end of April, which also is timed for a fiscal year rate change as well for the ones that were initiated by the IMF. So as you guys see, Kuwait timed theirs with the fiscal year, and the IMF always times theirs with the fiscal year as well on rate changes they initiate for Iraq. Okay, so guys, I'm just trying to show you here how important the fiscal year is in this, and how it's widely used. It's not just something that's, slightly practiced here and there. It's actually it's a widely adopted practice. So there you guys go. God bless you guys and have a great day. Take care.